Yes.
Welcome to Let's Eat. I'm Charles Matheson, the founder of MOPAC, Meet Other People and Cook in Bushwick, Brooklyn. What MOPAC is, it's a place for people to meet other people and cook. So what you do is you engage in 3 cooking activities. Then at the end of the cooking activity, you engage in a dance activity based on the cuisine that you made. So, guess what we're going to cook today? Mexican! How did you figure it out? Alright, so first thing we're going to do, I'm going to introduce you to the ingredients that we're going to use. First ingredient, cilantro. Now, cilantro is a very powerful ingredient. You really don't need that much because it's so strong. Like this bunch, 99 cents. You could use this for a whole week's worth of recipes. So, and the way that you can tell the difference between cilantro and other greens is the smell and the type of, and the size of the leaves. So, I just love that smell. It's just, reminds me of my kitchen. Next, we have the lime. And the lime is a very, very versatile fruit in that it makes food very tangy and very spicy. And we're going to use this in our salsa. That's what we're making tonight in the MOPAC Food Lab. Next, we have this red onion. And red onions are used mostly in non-cooked foods like salads or pastas. And we're going to be using this today for our salsa. And then finally we have this Roma tomato. And Roma tomatoes are small, and the reason I'm using Roma tomatoes is because I'm only going to be making a serving size for 1. So let's get started. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slice the tomato horizontally. So first I slice horizontally. Are you getting this, Jen?
I didn't zoom in because we got the zoom ins from the other one, but I can.
Okay. Jen Weaver is our photographer today. So first thing I do is I sliced it horizontally, and then I'm going to slice it vertically because I want to chop it very, very finely. And when you cook, it's very important to have knives that are very sharp because cooking, when you have the right utensils, makes it go a lot faster. And this knife I actually got at IKEA. It was a set of 4 knives for $2.99. You really cannot beat $2.99. So I'm chopping it very, very finely. I find that tomatoes that are chopped very, very finely, they actually taste different as opposed to tomatoes that are chopped not so finely. They just have a different taste. I'm going to chop it very, very, very finely. And then I'm going to transfer the tomatoes that are chopped very finely, to this bowl. This cutting board is so awesome because you can just curve it and everything just goes right in the bowl. Alright, these little fellows fall out. Now, the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to add 1/8 of this red onion. So, and there's no exact recipe in terms of the amounts of onion that you can use. It all depends on your preference. So for this recipe, I'm using 1/8 of a red tomato, and I'm also going to chop it very finely. But you can add more of red onion. You can add more red onion if you like it. So I'm going to chop it very, very finely. And again, food that's chopped very finely just has a different taste as opposed to when it's it's chunky. I just find that you can taste the flavor more of the food that you're actually eating when it's chopped finely. It's kind of like when you have a hero and you ask for thin slices, you taste the actual, like the spices and the meat more. Okay, so now I'm going to transfer this to the bowl. Scrape that off. Okay, now I'm going to take a few sprigs of cilantro, and I'm going to chop this very finely. And I'm not going to keep the stems, because the stems don't have much flavor. I just really want the leaves. The leaves have all the flavor. And I'm going to chop this very, very finely, so that you can actually, like when you actually taste the grain of the cilantro when you actually eat the salsa. Okay, so isn't that so pretty? Look at that. Transfer this to the bowl. Our beautiful clear bowl. I like clear bowls because I can actually see what it is I'm making. And finally, I'm going to add the juice of 1 lime. So I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to squeeze the juice of 1 lime with my hand into the bowl. And again, depending on your preference, you can add as much lime juice as you want. But for this recipe, 1 works. And I guess the juice of the salsa will be the lime juice, or the gravy, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now the last thing we're going to do, we're going to put the garnish, and the garnish is going to be, we're going to add some sea salt. And I like sea salt because it's a very strong salt. You don't really need a lot of it, and it has a much stronger flavor as opposed to just table salt. So I added about a pinch of salt. You know what a pinch is. I'm not talking about the pinch that your significant other gives you. We're talking about salt. Anyway, so you know what I'm thinking about. Okay, so finally, we're going to now mix the salsa. Okay, and then now got our salsa chips, and I'm gonna have some. Absolutely perfect, delicious salsa every single time. The Tabasco sauce gives it just that little kick, and the quantity of Tabasco sauce you can determine based on how spicy you like food. So there you go, Charles's salsa, healthy, delicious, nutritious, and quick. So if you'd like to actually make this in a class and meet people at the same time, go to mopac.us, mopac.us, and sign up for a class. Thanks.